Well, we are doing it again in the car. And I wanted to do this video that I forgot to do. I made it. I finally made it. Yeah. I mean, copying Rory's micro strings. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm sure I figure out everything that Rory is doing in his string. Now it's just a question of actually me being able to pull it off. So, as mainly what we are going to do today and during the end of the month of March and until the master, actually, we are going to consolidate, validate everything. And so in this video, so I wanted initially when I came back from my holidays, initially I wanted to do this video. I made it, but I kind of forgot about it and went on with my training and so on. So anyway. So we are going to do it today. On the practice trail, I'm going to review everything in detail. And I don't really have a lot of time because I'm really busy and I need to, because to be honest, I'm running a little bit out of money. So now that's more a question of kind of sustain it for the long run. So I need to kind of work a lot on my business. I've been putting that aside for a while since I was actually trying to lose fat and so on. But nonetheless, I'm going to keep training at least one time a day, either at the gym or on the golf, at the golf, in order to keep going. But yeah, anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I truly believe I made it, and even if I didn't, now I don't care. I need to move on, consolidate for the rest of the year, where we are going to actually start working on speed. We are going to do, and normally I want to aim to about 200 balls per session, but that's going to be mainly for the next cycle. Here, honestly, I'm going to do as I can. Because as I said, I need to work a lot on my business and so on. So unfortunately, I can't really afford to get tired because of training. I would really want to kind of push hard like I did during the first 2 months, but unfortunately I can't. So initially what I want, the ideal situation is to hit about 120 balls as warm up to get all the muscle fiber activated and so on, and to be ready to start working on speed, where we are going to actually start working with the speed stick. That's something very important. So don't worry, we'll go in detail about that. And then work a little bit on speed. So, but the key here, I'm not going to start pushing speed in terms of energy wise. What I want to do is, because I'm going to stabilize my technique, I want to get more and more efficient with my technique. So in a way that I'm kind of swinging at 70, 80% and just try to stay consistent with that level of energy, but trying to execute the technique more and more better in order for me to get faster and faster without putting more energy, efficiency. That's kind of the main goal of this, reduce the fatigue, because if I put more energy, that's going to accumulate, add to the fatigue that actually I want to remove to be ready for the next cycle. So that's why I want to maintain my level of energy, repeat the same technique over and over, getting more and more efficient as I do so. And then progressively, we probably could see a slight increase in speed due to the fact that I'm reducing the fatigue, that I'm getting more efficient with the technique, that I'm not changing anything. All of those things will accumulate, and I believe, so as I said, there is a warm-up part and there is a speed part and I believe I can get kind of a cruising speed somewhere around 115. I'm relatively confident with that. So if I can so ideally this is what happened: 120 balls of warm-up, 80 balls of speed training, of quote-unquote speed training, just keep repeating the same thing over and over. And on those 80 balls, without really trying to go after it, what I want is having an average of 115. That's kind of the goal until by the end by the Masters. And after the Master, we will enter in the new cycle, which is the US Open cycle, just a way for me to keep track of things. And on this cycle, the goal is going to be to get by the end to a cruising speed of 120. and so on. So we one cycle at a time. Then the cycle after that, which is a playoff cycle, 125, and then the final push, the final cycle is going to be 130. Not sure I'm going to be able to cruise at 130, but if I can at least get a 130, that's going to be enough, because that will mean I'm going to be able to really cruise between 120, 125 at 70, 80% of energy, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm a little bit on the road still, but I'll see you on the range.
Well, let's get to it. So, on the opposite of what I was doing before, I'm going to eat quite a lot of irons, warm up, and so on, just because now I want to consolidate my swing with every single club. So probably somewhere around 20 ball with an iron, with an 8 iron, 20 ball with a 6, 20 ball with a 5 wood. Maybe I will eat the 4 iron. I don't know. I can't really eat that much ball. I only have 100, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so I've made it. That's kind of the theme here. So let's recap the actual flow. First, you load to the right and you kind of rotate your wrist like that. Then, kind of bend the left knee in as you're doing this vertical motion with the wrist. As you are doing this, you are also doing the hinge motion to actually set the club vertical. So you load here, then you go vertical and bend that knee to kind of get to that left side. And then once the wrists are set, you rotate externally the right leg, you rotate internally the right leg too. That's more kind of a consequence. Because what you want to do is, as you get to the top, as you get wide, you want to engage the lower body as much as possible, and you will see why just after. But the way you do it is actually by engaging the kind of the right glute here and the internal abductor, I believe, which is going to kind of externally rotate the right leg and internally rotate the left leg. But that way you get that position that really kind of has this, but still the hips are dead square because they are kind of engaging, but they are not engaging with the leg. This is only the hips that are engaging, not the legs. That's the key point. Then you get as well as possible to create a lot of torque here. There is almost at the top no weight on the left leg. It's just that you're extremely wide here. And then what happened is what I realized, there is no rotation at all. It's just once you're there, bump both here, you throw the club, the arm and the club towards the ball, and the hips rotation is actually happening because of the reaction that you have engaged the hips earlier. So since you have engaged the hips earlier, when you are throwing the club here, throwing the arm, what happened? You're pushing into the ground, but since the hips are engaged, they are rotating. And so this is pretty much, once you're set at the top, as the hips are engaged, just throw the club as hard as possible, bumping both heel and the hips forward, just throwing the arm, and that allows me to keep the shoulder shut, just throwing everything. That's kind of what I need to work on. Anyway, and there is a little subtlety with the driver, I believe, that we will see. Is probably by doing that you will hit down very easily, but then you kind of need to engage the pelvic rotation kind of backward to kind of extend through impact to hit up on the ball. Otherwise you can't you need to kind of really engage the lower body vertically. Anyway, so that's kind of what we are going to work on. Let's record the screen and we are good to go. And I'm going to spend a lot of time looking at the camera from down the line because, first of all, since I want to stabilize things, down the line view is the easiest one that I want to stabilize. And that's also the one that I want to know where my club is in terms of plane, and I want it to be on the right plane with every club. So 5 balls with each club to warm up without looking at the camera, and then 15 balls, I believe, just to make the technique right. And the key here is that I kind of get my face a little stronger at the top. I believe that's why it's getting left with the iron. Don't show again. Oof. face was a little better at the top. And also there is, so the thing that I told you just to jump through the club here, it's kind of good with somewhat 6 iron and above. I believe that with my short iron, I'm just going to kind of just go down and compress the ball rather than try to explode. So that's what I'm doing with my 8 iron here. I'm not really trying to explode. Okay, interesting. Last ball and we start looking at the camera. Actually the wind is pushing off the left to right. I believe that might be why I'm fading it here. So that's probably as close as neutral as you can be. Yeah, should have been a little push draw. Maybe the heel, I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at the camera here. And also because I have the sun just behind me, I don't really see a lot of things. Okay, slightly across the line, so I can do better, for sure. And maybe that's going to allow better turn. I'm very close to the ball actually. No. So yeah, this is I really, but I know generally with my iron, I really need to get a sensation when I'm pretty flat at the top. Yes, but I'm getting. Now that's something I've tried to kind of fix with heel again. Fix with the swing weight of the club, but okay, that's not as bad as it seems. And definitely the 8 iron is kind of in between just kind of cruisingly going down on it and actually exploding. But you can, what I like is we see that my hips doesn't move that much. Let's try to do it even more. I mean, that's really nice to swing with that kind of weather. Maybe I should focus kind of more on the transition. I mean, Rory also with his iron gets slightly across the line, so yeah, that's okay, that's not that big of a deal, but annoying nonetheless. My 15 will be enough. Yeah, I really need to kind of give a lot of space here. Anyway. So my camera decided to die. Apparently the temperature is too high, even though it's not that high, but maybe it's already too much. That's something I didn't consider because with this camera, for now, I've only recorded during the day, during the night, and during winter, so it wasn't that hot. But I started thinking that evening sessions are going to be a requirement later in the year during summer, otherwise the camera is going to die. Anyway, let's continue. So I did my 6 iron just to let the camera cool down, and now let's move on to the 5 wood. Yeah, I have, even though I understand what I need to do, I have a lot of patterns that are conflicting with that. I might start considering that I need to have a little bit of rotation. Little pushy. Now let's try with a. Oh fuck it! Yeah, because when I bumbles here and get through the arm, I should not throw forward. I should throw down here, and then finish the movement with some kind of rotation forward. Really. I think the issue is getting across the line, get across all club. So that's a good thing. That's a good. Because when it starts getting tricky is when it's only some clubs, only getting across the line with the iron and not with the wood. That's when it's simply tricky. But getting with the wood, that's okay. If everything is the same. Okay. Let's try that. Yeah, because if I kind of just throw from the top, I kind of get a little bit over the top, where if I kind of go down as I'm throwing, I get more on the right hand. That kind of seems to fix as well transition. Very interesting. Decent speed. It's not crazy. Yeah, the club is definitely much better at the top. So okay, that was a kind of a missing link here. Interesting enough. So once I built that width, it's kind of transitioning into throwing the club by getting down and kind of shadowing the club a little, just a fraction before actually throwing. That's really subtle, but that's kind of the movement during. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I was with here, throw here, but there is kind of the transition between the two. I haven't really considered. That's much better. Definitely much better. I need to drink something. Also, yes, as you saw, when I don't put the Rory's against me comparison, I get a lot less view. Fact is, most people don't even watch until here. If you are one of those, you're kind of a warrior here. But for the others, when on the video I get quite a lot of views, generally speaking, it's just because they're kind of watching the swing comparison with Rory. and so they are getting into the video maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute, and there is a lot of people that are doing that. But because of that, I get more impression, and more impression get more views. And so when you get 1,000 people watching a video, there is some that will get interested, and maybe that was one of you that came across with the swing comparison with Rory at first, and then you stayed for other things. And so I think if I want to continue growing this channel, that's something I need to keep doing. Also, that's not that bad, because at the end of the day, I want to navigate towards that swing. So I don't know. It's not like it's something I'm not doing anyway. So, since I'm working down the line, actually, to make the swing comparison with Rory's, I might just need to put you right there. And with a little bit better angle, like this. Should do it. Two more balls and one to the driver. But the thing with the leg, I don't yet get it. I need to practice it a little more. There is definitively a little move just between the two to kind of anchor myself into the left side before actually throwing everything really hard. Yep, definitely. And once I'm set, boom, can explode. Can explode. Anyway, so what I'm going to do with the driver, it kind of like same 10 or 15 balls, maybe just 10 at first. Then we move on to the speed stick. We'll start practicing the speed stick, making the transition between the two, and then back to the driver. And in the future session, so the driver is going to take a lot more balls. But here I kind of want to stabilize the motion. There was these little subtleties that I wasn't considered, but other than that, that's pretty cool, because I think this little subtleties I was talking about is going to impact as well the irons. So really interesting to see how it goes in the next session. But yeah, I feel that I'm slow. Not even close to be vertical enough. And that's something I realize if I'm good with the iron and I'm not good with drivers, that's something that's really annoying. So I cracked, because I started thinking that I needed to change things, where in fact it's just that I'm not used to do the right thing. But the big turn, shift, honestly that's kind of it. It's just that I'm not used to it. I'm not used to do the right thing on the way down, but down with getting down and then throwing everything. Just that I need to get used to it, used to generate power with that. So this is what I'm not changing anything. There was just these little subtleties of kind of just setting myself on the left side before throwing everything. Okay, that's a very subtle thing, and I'm fine. I'm fine with that. That's not a big deal. But now I need to learn to generate power because I think the issue is there. Since I'm not used to set motion, then I'm doing things wrong, but not because I don't know or I'm trying to do something that is wrong. I'm doing something wrong just because I'm not used to it. So this is what we were aiming anyway, because we are going to start working with the speed stick. So there is a few things that I want to work on. I don't know if I'm going to put the... No, I'm not because I was thinking about putting the PRGR, something like the thing that measures the speed. Anyway, I'm not going to do it since I want just to translate the swing with a driver with that and create synergy between the two. Speed, we will work on that next month. So let's just try. So the key thing that I want to work on here are first this big kind of really big stretch at the top, staying very wide, staying very vertical. So that's kind of the wide and vertical, and kind of getting those legs, if I exaggerate that position. And so that's kind of the first thing, really getting the backswing, a lot of momentum in backswing, being able to set things and really resist. And then on the way down, that's going to be really engaging. A lot more the lower body to be able to accelerate. I don't know. That's I guess I just need to keep going. Let's just do like 10-15 swing and we'll get. For me, that's almost. That's not really that. And since I don't have the live camera, that's feeling very weird. Anyway, we get to it. So I don't know, you count. I don't know how many swings I did already. Just let's say 10 more, and that's going to be enough. Just. And because in terms of sensation, so I had this idea of throwing everything, but also the idea of just using more the lower body and kind of dropping. And so maybe this is that. That's kind of the same sensation. It's just that kind of subtle nuance It seems that when I throw everything, my upper body gets forward way too quick. So, head is cut wide. Then kind of, okay, you throw everything, but maybe it's, I don't know. But should not change too much. Anyway, let's get it done. I'm getting tired already. With the swing face, and also I've been thinking that that's not a good time to record. Sun is right down, that way I barely see my screen, so yeah, either late, either early, not at 5 p.m. for sure. Let's go. I literally missed the ball. That's going to be a kind of recurring theme, I believe, when I use the speed stick. Especially since the swing is going to be very close to. So fun. Maybe it's just, I need to kind of activate a little bit my lower body. It's kind of too passive. Okay. And that definitively activated a little bit my nervous system. Now I'm cruising over 110. No, that's slow. That's definitively slow. Oh. That's so slow. even slower. Kind of think that I may not be setting the wrist enough. I'm start getting a little annoyed here, so let's run. Let's rip one. You don't get the club speed. Motherfucker. I mean, that's insane. Okay, so it seems that this is a lot more lower body driven. That's insane. I'm so slow. I mean, I feel tired. I feel that my body is not nearly as ready as it could be for generating speed, but still. Yes. Anyway, I think that's it for today. I'm going to eat a few more balls since there's left, but yeah, they're kind of disappointing. But at least I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make it work, since I'm not going back. Ciao, ciao.